This is a good-looking Wardman.
A Wardman, that's right. And this house had the floor plan of about 30,000 other townhouses of this era, almost identical. So for me, this is a lovely example of how a Wardman-style townhouse can bring a community together because everyone can see each other on their porches.
This is the best shot because you really do see right down
super
on
cool.
the porches.
This is great for getting to know your neighbors as they walk by or even talking to them from one porch to another.
Exactly.
We are on a pretty big incline. When you have these hills here, it means that you have to have curvier roads, which I think makes it a little more interesting.
It does. It almost gives kind of like a European feel.
Yeah.
This house was built in 1920, so it's already over 100 years old, but it's standing tall, and it's a wonderful example of both an old style mixed with new amenities. I think you're gonna love it.
I think you're right.
Okay, you guys take a look. Make sure you come outside to see the rental unit downstairs.
Oh, rental unit, that's handy.
That's right. And when you're done, I'll be right here.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, wow. This is one wide entryway.
I think that's what grabs you the minute you walk in.
Look at all the space in this good old Wardman.
Right, so already we're seeing some of the original elements.
Yeah, classic details.
And I can see some new things here and there already.
Yes, but first, let's start in the living room.
Right.
All right, classic.
Well, let's talk about these entryways.
Yeah,
Because in the 20s, they were much bigger.
yeah.
And look at how it just opens up this space and just, it adds drama.
Yeah.
almost. They're a little more on the simple side, but still very elegant. It just all balances out.
I think that's classic Wardman, really. And you've got a great fireplace. We love fireplaces on an angle. All right, into the center of the home, a center hall. Oh, and now we're seeing a lot of great old details, like these ceilings and these beams.
Do you think those are original?
I've been in other Wardman homes, and so they do have details just like that.
Well, speaking of original, this flooring is definitely original.
Those floors have a lot of character.
They do.
Okay, from classic into
To
new.
modern, yep.
All righty.
Oh, okay. So you know what we've just done?
What's that?
We've stepped out of the 1920s to the 2020s.
Oh, we've arrived.
Okay.
Okay, there's a lot to appreciate in this room.
Wow. Well, you know how I love having a window over the kitchen sink?
Yes.
Well, see, you've got the kitchen sink and you still have a window.
You still do. It's so nice to have a living room, family room right here. You know, you could have the kids even be here while you're cooking. And then you've got a cook's kitchen.
Cook's kitchen.
Doesn't ring a bell?
No.
Well, a cook's kitchen would be a kitchen that has everything a cook would need, and this kitchen does. What I love about this giant island is that it's hiding some good stuff. So underneath you have your dishwasher, but this is really deluxe. You have
an extra
freezers,
freezer.
2 of them.
Oh, that's nice because you never have enough freezer space.
They save more space by putting things under counters like the wine fridge.
Okay, there's a room over there I need to check out.
All righty, Tina. This is perfect. And right off the kitchen, the modern trend continues in this room.
This almost feels a little mid-century to me.
It does. I think the paint color.
Well, that
especially.
and the skylights. They renovated the space, and I think it's a perfect spot for the dining room. I really do like the flow.
Me too. Okay. And the last part on this floor, we have a half bath, and they carried that line theme from the dining room.
Okay, let's get upstairs.
Tina, this is so nice and open.
I know. Can I just comment on that brick?
Yeah.
The exposed brick just gives so much character to a home. And you know, all the bedrooms are on the side of the windows.
Well, that's very smart, isn't it?
So let's start with bedroom number 1.
Cute little bedroom.
Right. You can fit a full-size bed and dresser with no problem.
And you have a closet.
All right, so I need to see what's behind this door, because I think I have an idea of what it is. Oh, okay. It's your sleeping porch, but it's enclosed to a 4-season room.
Wow, nice.
Okay.
How about bedroom number 2?
Right, and you were so right when you said they're taking advantage of all the windows on this side.
And more light coming through that transom from that porch.
Right.
Love this room, but you know, I think there's another old closet too as well, which is nice for more space.
No.
No.
It's the bathroom.
It's the bathroom. Voila.
I really like what they've done in this bathroom.
Yeah.
And I like the way they carried the blue on the ceiling.
I like a deep, rich color on the ceiling. And then, are these original floors? They sure look of the era.
but I don't think that they are.
The grout is very clean. I'll let you know they're not super old.
I also like the wainscoting paneling.
Yeah, they did a nice job. And I do love how they renovated this bathroom, but made it look original.
Kudos.
Kudos to
to
that.
that design.
Oh, Tina, we've got to open up this door because this definitely is going to an unfinished attic. There's 80%
I
chance
know.
of ghosts up there.
I'm so
Okay,
staying right here.
so-
Just lock that baby back up. Okay.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, Tina, this is probably the primary.
I would say so. The benefits of having a corner bedroom is you do see the neighborhood, you see the trees.
You see the Tudor architecture
I
across the
know.
street. That is what Adams Morgan's all about, right?
Right. So let's see our en-suites. Full bath. Obviously, this bathroom has been updated, renovated, and they went with the honeycomb, which I think is in keeping with more of the period of the home.
I love the sink, Tina. Yeah, it all looks of the era. I love how they did it. I wouldn't change a thing. Well, this is a very nice primary suite.
Okay, but you know what I'm noticing now that we're leaving? There's no closet.
There is no closet. Well, maybe you would get a wardrobe for that corner, maybe?
Yeah, you'd have to.
All right. Ah, okay. Well, this would have been a bedroom, but they've made it into a luxury closet. You know what they say, lose a bedroom, gain a closet.
A nice closet at that.
You could always change it back to a bedroom if you needed to.
It's true.
Next up,
Rental.
rental. Let's do it. You can really see how big the house is from the outside.
Here's the entrance. That's a cute little entrance.
Hey, this is great to have a
Oh
little
my
rental
gosh.
property
You're
down
not
here.
kidding. Okay. Oh, this is a very generous sized kitchen.
Especially for a rental. And a washer and dryer to
Boy,
boot.
that's nice.
Could use a little updating, and if you just sweeten it up a little bit, you
Right.
probably could get higher rents, right?
Right. Okay. Moving on. The living room
Okay,
area.
good size area, nice light to the street, and you have an air conditioner.
Oh,
In DC,
nice.
that's a must. Washer, dryer, AC,
See?
sign me up.
Oh,
All right, Tina, take a look at this. Dining room.
it is fun having your own dining space.
All right, I see there's a light in this one. Here, let's see what's... Look at this bathroom. All righty. I love how this wall is angled. The depth in here is something you don't expect. It's like being on a boat.
But there's plenty of counter space for
Yeah.
whatever you need. That's kind of crazy cool.
Cool detail.
So I know if there's room for a full dining room, then there's got to be a bedroom.
Yep.
Okay.
Here it is.
And we have a step down.
A step down, which allows for more headroom in
Oh,
this
you're
room.
not kidding. It does make a difference,
It does
doesn't
make
it?
a difference.
You have an income-generating apartment to help with the mortgage.
Okay, so when we're calculating the value
I
of
know.
this
We're
one,
going to have to really incorporate this whole thing.
well, the time is now. Let's go.
Hey, David.
Well, guys, what'd you think?
Okay, now that is an awesome Wardman.
Right?
Well, just, you walk in, you see the details from the 1920s, and then you walk into that kitchen that has a living room.
Right.
And it's just like, wow.
And then that funky dining room, which we both loved, with the
Right.
skylights.
With skylights,
Yes,
right?
please, yeah.
Absolutely. And how about that basement? The rental unit's great because it can pay half your mortgage.
Half, wow. Okay,
Very
sign me up. And this is such a good location for a
Absolutely.
short-term rental.
Right.
And speaking of things to offer in this home, 3 parking spots.
You could do a lot with that backyard. You can keep it 3 parking spaces, which around here is worth gold.
You could rent them out.
You could rent them out, or you could perhaps change it up a little bit, make a little backyard or a garden. For some of those families that I help, these prices are a little on the high side. Things like this can really help them afford it.
Sure.
The house has 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. Then we've got about 3,450 square feet, built in 1920. So where do you think that puts the value?
I'm going to give you a guess of 1.8 million.
1.8. Okay.
I'm going to come in a little lower. Okay. I'm just going to 1.6.
1.6.
These faces are really
know.
messing me up. I don't know if we're right or...
The current list price is 1.55 million.
Oh.
That's
Can't
right.
Can't you just give it to me?
Sure, just take it.
Thanks.